Hello and welcome to Night Magic. This is Cody, and today's topic we are going to be talking about the anime and some of the new and upcoming anime, as long as old and classic anime and such. We have a guest today, Jason.
Yeah, or Jace. I really don't mind.
We are on the topic of anime. What is your favorite anime
All right.
that you've seen that you watched?
So so far it has to be Hunter x Hunter.
Oh yeah, I'm almost done with that. That's a good anime. Um,
It really is.
yeah. Um, the anime that I've been waiting for the last season to come out is My Hero Academia. Um,
Yes, I watched that one too, but it's
yeah,
not my favorite
yeah,
because it just has too many cliffhangers.
yes, that is true. And I'm hoping that the fifth and last season, whenever it comes out, will definitely tie up some things. You know.
I hope so because the one how it left off. Did you see the movie?
I've seen the movie.
Yeah, that I feel like it should be explained to viewers or listeners who haven't watched it though. But
Yes.
at the same time, I don't want to give out any spoilers for those who haven't watched it and plan to.
Yeah, that would be good. Um, another great anime. It's kind of I want to say like a classic-ish. But it's kind of new. It's called The Promised Neverland, which
Oh,
yeah,
I haven't watched that one, but I do plan to.
yeah. It's basically about these kids on a farm. However, they
I watched a little bit of it with my friend, and yeah, it's about how they're on a farm. Smartest ones, I think, right? The smartest
yeah.
ones
Uh,
get like sold off because their brain tastes better or something along that line.
yes. To actually demons that
Right.
live on a certain area of the world. It's actually technically staged in the present, um, or uh, not too far in the future, really, but um, it's kind of along that time zone. But yeah, they are on this farm, but they are the crop, obviously, and they try and escape. And yeah, I'm currently on the second season, so yeah,
I haven't seen it yet. When I actually start watching, probably binge watching for a while.
there there's a few more episodes I gotta go through. But um,
Have
yeah,
you seen or heard of Assassination Classroom?
yes, I've seen a little bit of it. Not I didn't really go through it quite a bit. But yeah, I have yet to watch that fully.
Yeah, it's good.
So yeah, uh,
One Piece is so long. It's
yeah,
intimidating for people who binge watch. It's just intimidating.
yeah. So the thing is, I binge watch a lot of anime.
Mm,
So
of course.
uh, I believe I've like I want to say like a month and a half, I'm almost done with Hunter x Hunter, and that's like 148 episodes, I want to say. So it's probably going
Sounds
to take
about
me
right.
2 months to get through the entire thing, but give or take. So and One Piece has like so many more seasons than that. So
Isn't there like 11 seasons?
I think so. Something like that.
I mean, most of the episodes are like fillers, but it's still a good anime.
That is gonna be definitely the next anime that I go through after I've watched or finished Naruto, which I'm rewatching. That was like my childhood anime growing up that I've watched. And then after I'm done with that, I'm gonna hopefully move on to Boruto in the season, but I heard it's not really as good. Um, but
Yeah, it's not. It's
so
overhyped. It's actually. It's not that it's a bad anime. It's overhyped. When something's overhyped, it never actually lives up to the expectations people have.
yes, that is seemingly true. Usually the stuff that are good are not really hyped up that much. Um, that goes for like a lot of movies and whatnot too. Um, but another anime that I've been trying to go through is Black Clover.
Oh, that's an amazing one.
Yeah. I've been you- I don't know. I've been like what I usually do is I usually binge through like an entire arc, and then I just like uh I don't know, just chill out for a little bit on that, and then I go back to it and then watch the next little arc, binge through that. And I've been trying to I don't know, cuz like I've watched binge through it like so much that it's like it's I'm feeling like it's harder to get to the get through the next arc in Black Clover. Um,
Black Clover is an amazing piece of art for a show,
yeah,
and it's a little underhyped. Like your expectations aren't as high as it would be for some other things, and then you watch it, and be like, Jesus Christ,
yeah.
this is one of the best animes I've ever seen. I'm not even done with it yet. There's I think another 50 episodes I gotta watch.
The episode I'm on, the main character is like so annoying, like more so than he usually is. Just like so yelly and such. But
I mean, he always yells,
yes, that is true. That is kind of his personality.
is loud and fast and kind of stupid. But that's kind of a few animes that have that,
Yeah. So um,
like One Piece.
other good animes are uh, this is one that it has been hyped up a little bit, but it not really. It came out I want to say like 2018, 19. Um it's The Wise Man's Grandchild. That was like so good. But they like
I
stopped.
wa- I watched I watched a few episodes of that. How many are there?
Um I want to say like 11, 12. There's not that many. They just like kind of stopped, which was like bizarre. I'm hoping for like the next season of that. So I've been also waiting for that to come out along with My Hero
Well,
Academia.
they could, yeah, they could be making it still, or they could have had to cancel the show for budget crisis problems.
Yeah,
But usually they come back around to an anime because sometimes after a while the anime gets watched enough even while they're not making more, where they
yeah.
get enough of a budget to continue.
It's sort of like Code Geass, right? That anime. They came out and
I haven't heard of that one.
well, not many people have actually. But once you watch it, is actually pretty good. Um, although it's not personally my favorite. My favorite is The Promised Land, My Hero Academia. Those subjects, I like can't really pick because I've seen like so many different animes. Um, yeah, but Code Geass is basically I really don't know how to explain the anime. It's kind of like this guy uh, tries to save Japan really, um, because uh, this new nation called Britannia. I don't know how to pronounce it, but or say it really. But yeah, that they basically go for world domination. And Lelouch, the main character, tries to save Japan. Pretty much. That's
Oh, it sounds interesting.
yeah.
Have you watched ReZero? I don't remember the entire title.
ReZero. Yes.
That
That
one that one kept me on edge after every episode.
so you know, I love it at first. It was so good. It was a little slow, but then I really get into it. But then the main character got so depressed and stupid. I just had to quit.
It don't it gets better after a little bit. I
Yeah,
enjoyed
that's
it. So
yeah, but once I get through that, I'm hoping it will get better. So that's my idea, but I just had to stop because it was too depressing for me. Yeah, but hopefully I could come back to it.
yeah, some animes get to that point, and then after a while it gets better. The ones that don't usually don't make it past the first season anyway.
Um, Code Geass I actually haven't seen in a while, but um, anyways, what about you? Have you like seen other animes? What other animes have you seen?
Um, I don't know if I can pronounce it correctly, but it's a gambling-based anime that's on Netflix right now. I think it's
Gambling based?
Kakeguru.
Kakaguru.
I think it's like Kakeguru or
That sounds
Guru.
familiar.
Yeah, it's just about a school that's completely based on gambling, and the main character, it's like two main characters at this, which one's supposed to be the main character? But there's one that starts with this guy who's in debt, and whenever you're in debt to the student council, you get a thing called being a house pet, and it's where you have to just do whatever anyone says, and everyone has to treat you like crap, which is a rule the student council set. So basically, the ones with the money run the school, and the ones who are bad at gambling end up as house pets.
Sounds familiar, but um,
Yeah,
then again, it
it's
sounds like
inter-
generic
it's
anime.
interesting. It's just interesting.
Yeah.
It's not like it's super exciting. It's just interesting.
I will definitely note it down and see see if I could find it and or watch it. Uh, also,
Yeah, it shouldn't be hard. If you can get Netflix and get onto it, it'll be there. I know it's
yeah.
there.
Also, since you are on Netflix, there is one anime that um,
There's a
I
lot of
think
animes that aren't complete on Netflix.
yeah. There's this one anime. Is actually I believe it's uh due to come out for its second season. Um, and Beastars. It's on Netflix. Have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. I wasn't interested in it. I saw the preview and just wasn't interested.
Once you get like past the first episode, it definitely gets better. So if you could like, and plus it's like the how they did it was like insane and amazing. So um, yeah, but that's my advice.
Oh, there's No Game No Life.
I've heard of that. I think I've watched like part of an episode or something.
Yeah, it's about these two gamers who are just absolute beasts and can just play two characters at a time while just destroying entire guilds of whatever game that they were playing. And then like the god of a different world brings them to his world, and everything is solved by game, gambling games, chess games, whatever game exists. You can solve disputes. There's no stealing allowed, no killing allowed, and those are rules set by the god, which is the god of play, Set.
Yeah, I watched that like a while ago, like a long time ago.
Yeah, it's still pretty good though.
Yeah. I still gotta get back into like those old type animes and just like finish them. Um,
Well, like One Piece has an old animating style, but it's still going today.
yeah, which is
They still haven't stopped, and
insane.
it's actually surprising that they can come up with this much content of a show and keep it running.
Yeah, that's
They must have a really good team.
yeah. That's why whenever I get done with like Black Clover, Hunter X Hunter, and Naruto, I'm hoping to get to that and crank go on like I don't know an extra long movie binge or anime binge for that. Any other animes that you've seen or recently watching?
The Adventures of Sinbad. That's one I just
Is
watched
that
recently. I don't,
is that an anime?
don't think I finished it though. It is.
Really? Because I believe that's like a movie or something. Maybe it is
Well, there's an anime for it too.
interesting, like a Japanese version of the U.S.
I have no clue. I just know it was good, and I had no clue that there was a movie.
I'll definitely look it up after this podcast. Also, another anime that is sort of one anime that I find like sort of like it's pretty much in the genre of the Wise Man's Grandchild is Aiziki Cheat
Mm-hmm.
Magician. Uh, have you seen that one?
Oh yeah, I've heard of that
Yeah.
one. I've heard of it.
I think I watched all of it. I'm not sure, but yeah, it's kind of
There's
subpar of
this. There's. Yeah, it sounds. From what I've heard, it sounds a lot like Wise
yeah.
Man. Wise Man
It's kind of subpar of
Grandchild.
Wiseman Grandchild. Although I do find Grandchild a little bit better than Aiziki Cheat Magician. Probably because there's two main characters instead of one. But
Yeah, two main characters always makes things different.
yeah, I've also like
Because, but the thing is, usually there's two because they plan to kill off one of them in a dramatic scene, and then the other main character will become like 10 times stronger. That just kind of sounds like something that they would do for characters.
um I've also um I've also seen a anime where they have I want to say like seven main characters. It's called the High School Prodigies Have It Easy Even in Another World. Yes, that is the title.
I was gonna watch that. I was gonna watch that, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's kind of intense. It's
I was gonna watch it, but I couldn't find it.
it's long to get through, but once you're into it, you it's definitely pretty good. Can we like also like talk
Oh,
about how long the freaking names are for the animes?
yes,
Like
yes,
that time I
because
was
they're like
reincarnated as a slime.
it's a good anime, but the title is so long.
Japanese and
And
their
if
long
you don't
titles.
remember just right, well, I mean, their names are also super long too.
That this is true.
They're shorter than they used to be
Yes.
because they were like their name. They use their names like titles, but like now they don't do that. It's still a long name. It's just not as long. I'm trying to think of the name of one. It's right there. It's right there. I think it's Doctor Stone,
Yes. That's a good anime. I'm on the second
bro.
season.
It yeah,
So
it's about how there's a sudden phenomenon where everyone on Earth turns to stone.
yes, and then like thousands of years later, one guy emerges
No, it wasn't.
from
I swear it was like he counted. He counted every second.
yes, and then did the math and converted it into years, which is insane.
He
It's like
somehow didn't go insane in that large amount of time of just counting.
I believe it's like around 3,000 years or something. I know it started with a three.
It was like 3 billion seconds. He counted 3 billion something seconds.
yeah, it was insane. But anyways, for the summary, yeah, everything just turned to stone. All the buildings and structures that was once there are now gone and decayed.
They're not gone, they're just overgrown.
Yes, overgrown and
Some of them are still standing, but like if you tried to walk through them, it would definitely collapse.
yeah,
And then there's still like old statues that were already there for a couple thousand years before it happened, still barely standing.
yeah, and then
Stuff like that.
the Senku
And then he just bring
tries to bring
uh
back
I'm,
modern world, and then tries to even go
yeah,
beyond the modern world in technology.
I mean, he definitely has the smarts. He's the whole periodic table memorized.
Which this is true.
And how he was even trying to make a gun with all the equipment he could get at some point.
Yes, I'm on the episode where he already made a car or a steam engine, really. Um,
I'm not there yet.
um, but yeah,
It's just like you watch it for so long, it just starts to feel like a learning show, and then you get bored. So I got bored and started watching some of the other animes that I named,
yeah. Um,
and then I kind of almost forgot about it till now.
I'm a little bit of a nerd
So I'm
boy. I
def
kind of watch it when it comes out. So at least for the newer specific animes like those. Um, but yeah.
um,
Also,
trying to think uh,
what?
if I have another anime.
I another anime that I believe they used a similar art style with Beastars. With this anime, it's called So What? I'm a Spider. it's I think that's what it's called, or I'm a Spider. So what?
That sounds like a comedy.
It's kind of similar to uh that time I was reincarnated as a slime. Because it's a female main character, but she was reincarnated as a spider. So,
That's interesting.
but
I
yeah,
want to talk Parasite.
Parasite.
Parasite, the anime.
Thinking.
Please tell me you've seen it.
I feel like I have.
It's amazing.
Oh, I think I looked at it, but I haven't actually started watching it.
You should watch it.
Yeah, I probably will. Definitely after this podcast, I'm gonna be looking out for those anime and watching them.
I'll list them for you afterwards if you
Yeah, send them to me on Discord. DM me. Heck yeah. Um
want. Alrighty, bro.
um. But yeah. Um. I could definitely like edit some of this stuff out. So. Um. Uh. Is there any other animes that you could think of? Um.
Let's see. I've been reading a lot of manga lately, so I haven't been watching as many animes as I would have been. I've been just reading.
I have been watching. Well, I've read the manga to Full Metal Alchemist. Um.
That's a good anime.
Thing is, I
Have you
can't.
seen
I
Full Metal
I
Alchemist
can't get through the anime. I feel
Brotherhood?
like it's too long.
It is too long. Like have you seen the live action movie? I watched the live action movie first because I found it on accident. This was before I was into anime. And I watched it and it was good and they cut it short. It was fine. It wasn't like no there wasn't really a bad cliffhanger or anything. And then I find the anime and I start it and like a few episodes later I just can't do it anymore. there's so much. They pack too much into the episodes. There's just too much
Yeah,
information, and then there's too much every episode,
yeah, and they
so it's too
just
hard to
drag it
keep up.
on. So if I had like I don't know, like a whole lot of time to kill, I would definitely watch it. Um, and also if I had no life, I would definitely binge through the whole thing. Um,
Yeah, it sucks that we have to live our everyday lives because then we can't just watch anime
yeah.
and then talk about them for no reason.
Yes. So, um, I know there's like definitely a whole lot more that I've seen and watched, but I can't bring them up right now. Um,
All right, look, I gotta tell you, I gotta talk to you about something.
what?
Is Pokemon the series an anime or a cartoon?
I like to think of it as like a cartoon,
Thank you. It's a cartoon.
since it's mostly comprised as U.S. stuff. So I would definitely
But also it I kind of as a cartoon. It's just a cartoon in the anime style. That doesn't mean it's an anime.
um,
If you draw something as an anime, but you call it a cartoon, it's a cartoon, not an anime. They call it a cartoon, so it's a cartoon.
yeah.
Just because it's drawn in the anime style does not make it an anime.
I think cartoons are and such are U.S. things, and anime is more Japanese things. I think that if you literally have to like pirate it or get I don't know a VPN just to watch something from Japan and such, it's definitely anime. I would definitely consider it that. But since it's like in the US and easily could watch and it used to be like a TV show and such, it's definitely a cartoon. So
Hmm.
at
Like
least
it's not an anime if you put it on a TV show.
yeah. Um,
That's just not how it works. I mean, you can find it on Netflix if you can find TV shows on
yeah. Well, I mean, I'm
it.
a
Netflix is just known for their variety.
yeah. So I mean, I'm an artist and I have a little bit of a tendency to draw like kind of an anime art style. Um, but my main type of art style is realistic. So like I actually like draw stuff from that looks like real life. So
Well, see, people expect drawings, like how people draw, to just go into the anime drawing style.
yeah,
But if your drawing style isn't the anime drawing style, you shouldn't feel pressured to have to draw like that.
yeah.
Everyone can draw their own way. It doesn't have to be a specific way made up by some people a long time ago.
Uh, I feel like I have like I don't know a sub superpower say, but that I could like mimic a drawing style. So like if it's anime, I could definitely mimic it, or if it's I don't know cartoony, I could definitely mimic it. But like whatever the drawing style is, I could definitely mimic it.
Yeah, I can't draw to save my life.
Um,
If I was told to draw a realistic or just somewhat good drawing or I would die, I would just accept my fate instead of embarrassing myself.
wow, that's that's sad. Um,
Well, drawing just isn't my skill.
this is true.
You have to be good at it and you have to practice it. You can't just rely on a talent. You have to, you know, work harder at said talent till it just becomes a natural skill.
This is true. This is true. But yeah, I basically like draw a lot of things. And can definitely mimic other art styles, but I like to stick with like realistic or anime-ish, or I sometimes combine the two, which is kind of what my character is. My OC uh, profile picture, I drew that. It's a mix of anime and a
Yeah,
little
it's
bit of,
pretty good.
yeah. I think the main thing, I don't know why, but like if I like took off all the shading and whatever, you would think, oh, that's okay, but because like all the shading stuff, like my realistic style, with like the shading and such, you think, oh wow, that looks realistic and cool. Um, but yeah,
I mean, the hair looks pretty good, dude. Hair is something people struggle with.
yeah, um,
You do it pretty well.
I
Even though you used a very bright blue, it still kind of looks like hair,
yeah,
which is another thing people struggle with is bright color shading.
yeah.
See, I know a lot about drawing, I just can't do it.
Yeah, I just find that
Like I could give someone who can draw tips all day, but if they ask me to show them, I
yeah,
wouldn't last very long.
it's very interesting. Um, but yeah, but I just feel like when I'm drawing hair or like um or even yeah, mainly for hair, that I just like draw like a lot of, I want to say like sharp lines, I guess, or like even like any line that looks similar to hair. And if you add enough of those on the head area, that it and just like make it a full circle, even if it like looks a little bit hideous, once you like complete the entire you know, hairline, I guess, uh, that it looks at least something like hair, remotely. And it definitely like helps define if you add like shading and such. Because I just find that shading and everything in art, just like makes everything pops. And, you know, at least that's what I find. So we should get back to the actual topic of anime. Um,
Yeah, we kind of just strayed from the topic.
yeah, it's fine. I could definitely
Though
edit stuff
technically
out and
drawing
whatnot.
skills, you wouldn't have to because that's
Yeah,
how
drawing skills
guys do.
are part of anime, and
Draw if you have a drawing skill and you're talking about an anime drawing style, it's still related to anime.
yes, because like not all anime's drawing styles are the same. Um,
None of them are the same. It can have the same drawing style, but there's always distinct things that make them.
yeah,
Like if two animes are drawn in the exact same way without any differences, then you know that that anime hired the same drawer or the same artist, drawer, the same artist from the other anime to do that anime. Therefore, making whoever becomes a popular artist will be hired by lots of different people. So the
yeah,
thing about animes is they don't just rely on one artist. They rely on a team of artists,
yeah,
usually.
yes, this is true.
Though smaller animes only have one artist drawing everything.
Have you ever like seen like the backstage of the anime, such as like I don't know, cause like I've seen like how they did it, like YouTube videos and other sources, of how they actually do the anime. And I've seen like the different companies, such as Toho, animations and whatnot, and how
I'll
they
have to
did
check them
things.
out.
But yeah, um, although like it is in Japanese, you know, some of the words you kind of have to use subtitles and whatnot, if they're available. Or
I mean, just because it's in Japanese does too. A thing people don't understand. They could have just taken Japanese, like
yeah, but
done some online learning.
yeah, but they usually do it in like three steps. They have I want to say like um 10 people at during each phase of the animation process. Um, uh, but it's like in total a group, I don't know, I want to say like 20 people, 30 people maybe. Most of
Well, it's because they have to do a lot of work in short amounts of time. So having a team of 20 artists makes things go by a lot smoother.
yeah, yeah, most of them are drawing and animating this sequence. Uh,
Here's how I think that the animating style would go. They'll draw a sketch of some of the scenes, then they'll have the voice actors come in and act it out, and then after that they'll redo the sketch to match the voices. And then after a while they'll go back and forth with steps until they get the finished product. And then they'll shade it and color it and finish all the details in it.
that's interesting, but
Because it takes a lot, because if you have someone animating something and it just doesn't match the voice of the person, voicing the character, then people notice that.
yeah.
And so they redo it a few times in order for it to work out and for it to match the character, which usually leads to positive re I can't think of the word.
Um,
Either way, it just ends positively if they do it in that way. Some of them don't do it that way and they do just fine, and others do it.
so that's kind of about where I would think where I would think that uh, how it starts and finishes, but you're kind of wrong. Not gonna lie. How it actually works is that they actually do stuff pre or before animating. Which that is like deciding about depends on if it's like from a book or um, I don't know, wherever it's from, wherever the source is from. They then get together and uh, discuss how to take I don't know, certain segments from the book and put them into the episodes or whatever, however it's going to do. Then they pretty much make a script, pretty much get all the paperwork stuff, and then they transfer it to computers and whatever, and then start the animation process. And then, because it usually
Yeah,
takes,
see, I didn't know a single thing about anime, so I was completely guessing.
yeah. So then they take it, they animate it, they uh during all this time they actually, I believe they send it to like a band, and sometimes depending on I believe like Dr. Stone, I believe they had a actual band play it, but sometimes they just have like a specific studio uh musician players do it. That's not really part of a band, I guess. Um, but sometimes they do, and
It
they
doesn't sound
send
like.
it, and then they have the voice actors. Once the animation is all done, they then send it to uh, the voice actors, and then try and make it lip sync to the or whatever to the characters. And then I believe there's the post stuff, which is the after stuff, which is kind of what I just mentioned. They send it to the band and just like put it all together. Because it I believe it takes some animes takes up to a year just to before it actually starts releasing. So that's interesting. Some animes I believe even takes more than a year to before they start releasing. Um, but yeah. Then they also do like I don't know, like copyrights or whatever stuff afterwards.
Oh yeah, because copyright claim,
Yeah, so
all of that.
do all that jazz. So it's a process and a half. And some of the artists there I've seen. So you know how they have like multiple artists. Some artists are like are good at like mimicking. So like their artists uh because there's like a couple people working on the art and whatever for the anime, and then they just like kind of compensate for like artists, so like just to like keep it fluid, you know, so it's not like um one art style is overtaking, and you know uh they keep a balance there, you know. um
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't I just find that entire process interesting. um uh
I can tell.
Also, while we're on kind of on this topic, I'm gonna like kind of veer topics a little bit, but um some, you know how like Crunchyroll and Funimation have Crunchyroll or Funimation's originals. um yeah, so some of them, I'm not sure if you heard of some of these animes, like Tower of God, uh
I've heard of that one.
um Inspectra.
Nope.
But yeah, Tower of God was actually based off a webtoon. Actually, pretty much all these animes I'm listing are based off of webtoons. Um, The God of High School. Have you heard of it?
Yep. I haven't watched it though.
Yeah. Um, I've read the entire thing on Tower of God on webtoons. I pretty much watched uh quite a bit of the God of High School. Um, but I'm just really starting the thing on webtoons. I meant to do it a while ago, but now that the anime propped up, I'm going back to read the read the webtoon. Then there's another one. I want to say it's like Obsessed or something. I don't know the name of it, but um, the story about how those originals came about is really interesting too. Um, but so what's your like give? What's your take? What's your reaction to all this? I guess I'm gonna say.
I don't have too much of a reaction. There's a lot of new information being pushed into my brain. But really, it does seem like a very interesting thing.
Yeah, it is when if you get into it. Um, but yeah, it is kind of interesting. Um, I haven't seen any Funimation's originals, but I definitely know there's originals there. Uh, Mainly because I use Crunchyroll. Also, that's another thing. What like source do you use for your anime? Is it like Crunchyroll, Funimation, what, or online?
Netflix,
Netflix?
Crunchyroll, Tubi.
Yeah,
I feel like getting a Funimation at some point soon.
I feel like with the Funimation, they're definitely known for their dubs. Um, And although Crunchyroll's and their originals, they do have subs and dubs. Not as many dubs though. So I do tend to watch anime subtitled. Um, Then afterwards, I try and go back for the dubbed versions. Um, and that's also another thing. Once an anime is after the anime is done and completed, they send them off to uh, I don't know, some other company, U.S. company, to be dubbed over. Um, they do like manipulate the time frames and whatever, so they can properly lip sync. So they don't really actually reanimate anything. Um,
I mean, whenever you dub an anime and you have English over Japanese drawing for lip sync, it's not gonna work out, and people will know because at least it's in English.
yeah, because
I've had to watch some animes that are in Japanese, and I have to read the subtitles. Don't get me wrong, I don't mind, but some people do, and then they don't watch them, and then they don't get the credit they deserve.
yeah. I also feel like after watching so many anime and weeping out so much, I've actually like taken up Japanese. So I do know some Japanese. Um, so if I was like placed in Japan, I would at least uh, uh, I know basics of Japanese.
I mean, I'm just kind of wearing a Dragon Ball Z hat right now.
Dragon Ball. I still have yet to watch that one. I need to watch that one.
I refuse to. There's too much. I would not be able to. Just I can't.
I see. I haven't even tried it, so I don't even know if I can handle it. So um,
No, there's just so much going on all the time, and there's just never like there's usually not a filler episode. There's always a usually a fight going on. When there's a filler episode, that's like a break.
yeah. So, s- so you're saying it's like similar to in that sense, like My Hero Academia, since I or not
Well,
Full
My
Metal
Hero
Alchemist.
Academia
Full
has
Metal
a.
Alchemist. I mean, I'm sorry, I don't know where My Hero
Oh
Academia
yeah,
came from.
probably. Don't forget, I haven't watched too much of you know Full Metal Alchemist. I watched a few episodes. Like I know it's a good anime. I just can't get into it. But I make up for that one anime for watching dozens of
All right, so
others.
we're about at our mark for timing wise. So is there anything else that you want to say or?
Well, I definitely enjoyed our back and forth anime conversation, and thanks for having me.
All right, wrapping up things now. Uh, so uh, that's that's kind of it.
All right.
So I will edit like some of the bits out that we like don't need and whatnot.
Yeah, when we kind of just strayed too far from the subject.
Yeah,
All right, dude.
but yeah, I have been recording for a total of an hour, really.
It
So
doesn't even feel like it's been an hour.
yeah, it's kind of for my podcast. It's I try and make it between uh I try and make it like uh at least if it's like the least amount is 30 minutes, but the most amount is like an hour, maybe a little more, give or take, like an hour and 7 minutes or something.
And I feel like if you wanted to do a 2 hour podcast on just this subject between you and me, we probably could do it.
Oh, we probably could. Yeah, we definitely probably could.
We could probably talk all day about it.
Yeah, and we probably didn't even list all the animes.
All right, I got to do that.
Oh yeah, you gotta give me some of those animes.
That was definitely an enjoyable conversation.
Yeah.
I finished 2 water bottles during the entirety of that hour.
All right. Um, so I should actually get to editing the video, so or the podcast.
I feel like you've edited someone's YouTube video before. Either way, you animated a video. Yeah, just a few seconds of an animation take hours, if not days. All right. I'll let you get to whatever you're doing and I'll send you the animation. Have fun with that. See ya.